In this video tutorial, we're going to learn how to convert common fractions to percentages. When converting common fractions to percentages, multiply your fraction by 100 over 1. Let's look at the examples. So 1 over 5 is a percentage. We say 1 over 5 times 100 over 1. Now we can simplify this. Okay, we can divide across a multiplication. So we can divide across a multiplication, meaning that we can look at the highest common factor of 5 and 100, which is 5. So we say 5 divided by 5 is 1, and then 100 divided by 5 is 20. Remember, when we say 100 divided by 5, you say 5 into 5, 1, 5 into 10 is 2, and then 0 divided by 5 is 0, and then we get our 20, right? So meaning that 1 over 5 is equal to 20%. Right, the other thing we could have done is to use the equivalent fractions, but the use of equivalent fractions may give us problems. So the most appropriate method is this one of multiplying by 100 over 1. But let me just show you how to use equivalent fractions. We say 1 over 5. What do we multiply 5 with to get 100? We have to multiply 5 with 20. So we have to say times 20. But now if you multiply 5 by 20, we must also multiply the numerator by 20. So you see that. So 1 times 20 is equal to 20. 5 times 20 is equal to 100. And then which is 20%. That's another method, right? And then 3 over 10, we do the same thing. 3 over 10 times 100 over 1, right? The best thing, I know you can say 3 times 100 and get 300, and then 10 times 1 and get 1. This will give you big numbers. So to simplify your numbers, divide before you multiply the numerator to numerator and denominator to denominator. So start by simplifying. Like we discussed in our previous lesson, we said when dividing by 10, you can just cancel the zeros. You cancel the 0 here, cancel the 0 there. So what are we left with? We're left with 3 times 10. You see that it becomes easy to deal with 3 times 10. So, and then becomes 3 times 10 over 1 times 1. So it becomes 30. So this is 30%. You can also use equivalent fractions and say 3 over 10, then times. We multiply 10 by 10 to get 100. So you say times 10. We must also multiply the numerator by 10. So you say times 10. Then 3 times 10 is 30. 10 times 10 is 100, which is equal to 30%. And then we have 15 over 50. Let's do the same thing. 15 over 50 times 100 over 1. You can start by simplifying before multiplying numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. So let's simplify. Divide by 10, cancel the 0, cancel the 0. Remember, we can divide across multiplication. And then still, we have things that we can simplify here. 15 and 5, you have the highest common factor, which is 5. You say 5 into 5, 1. Then 5 into 15, 3. Right? And then what are we left with? With 3 times 10 at the top. And then denominator 1 times 1, which is 1. So our answer is going to be 30%. Even if you had something like this, 15 over 50 times 100 over 1, then you cancel, divide by 10 first. That you could also divide and say 5 into 5, 1, and then 5 into 10, 2. Then 15 times 2 will get you 30. Please be careful. Make sure that your denominators here are 1. Okay. We have 1s there for the denominators every time. And then we have 12 over 60. 12 over 60, we say 12 over 60 times 100 over 1. We start by dividing by 10. We start by dividing by 10. And then let's simplify before we multiply. So we can say 6 into 6, 1. 6 into 12, which is 2. And then what are we left with? 2 times 10. And then denominator is 1 times 1, so it's fine. So 2 times 10, which is equal to 20. So it's 20%. Right? The other thing could have done, say 12 over 60 times 100 over 1, divide by 10, divide by 10. You can also say the highest common factor between 10 and 6 is what? Is 2. So 2 into 6 is 3, and then 2 into 10 is 5. And then now we have 12 and 3. We say 3 into 3, 1. 3 into 12, 4. And then we're left with 4 times 5, which is 20. Still, we'll get the same answer. You may pause the video here and do this activity. Let's do the activity together. So we have 1 over 8. 1 over 8, we say 1 over 8 times 100 over 1. So let's start by simplifying. We have the highest common factor between 100 and 8, which is 4. So we say 4 into 8 is 2, and then 4 into 100. 4 into 100 is 25. Right, remember, we can say 100 divided by 4. Say 4 into 10 is 2, remainder 2, and then 4 into 20 is 5, like that. So we're getting 25 at the top, which is 25. Then 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, we have to divide 25 by 2. Let's use short division, but I'll show you also long division. So we say 2 into 2, 1. 2 into 2 there, 1. And then 2 into 5 is 2. Remainder 1. So what do we do here? We don't have any number, so we put a comma here. And then our remainder is 1. And then we add a 0 to it, becomes 10. Then we say 2 into 10, which is 5. So our answer here is 12.5%. Right? So if you want to use long division, you can say 25 divided by 2. Say 2 into 2 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. And then we subtract 2 minus 2 is 0, and then we drop 5. And then say 2 into 5. 2 into 5 is 2. And then 2 times 2 is 4. Then we subtract again. But now we don't have any number to drop, so we introduce the commas. Introduce the commas there. Then you can drop what? You can drop the 0 after saying 5 minus 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. Then you can drop the 0, which is 10. Then 2 into 10 is 5. Then 5 times 2 is 10. And then see that. And then 25 divided by 2 is 12.5, which is this answer here. B, we have 5 over 4 times 100 over 1. 5 over 4 times 100 over 1. You can say the highest common factor between 4 and 100 is 4. So 4 into 4, 1. Then 4 into 100, that's 25. We did the division of 100 by 4 there. So it's 25. So we're left with 5 times 25. 5 times 25 is 125. So our answer is 125%. Right. If you want to use the columns when you're doing a multiplication, you can say 25 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Write 5 and carry 2. Then 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. See that we're getting 125 there. And then C, we have 17 over 25. So we multiply by 100 over 1. Then the highest common factor between 25 and 100 is what? 25. So we say 25 divided by 25 is 1. 100 divided by 25 is what? Is 4. Okay. And then 17 times 4, that is 68. So the answer is 68%. If you want to say 17 times 4, 4 times 7, 8, 28, carry 2, then 4 times 1, 4, and then 4 plus 2, 68. So you are getting that. Right. Question 2 says, what percentage of 50 learners is 10 boys? So now, what is the number of boys as a fraction of the learners, of the total number of learners? So we have 10 boys out of 50. So the fraction of the boys is 10 out of 50. So we're converting this 10 out of 50 into what? Into a percentage. So it becomes 10 over 50 times 100 over 1. Then divide by 10 first, cancel the zeros. So we're left with 10 times 10, which is 100, and then 100, and then 100 divided by 5. 100 divided by 5 is 20. The percentage of boys is 20%. You could have said also, let's say we have 10 over 50 times 100 over 1. You can cancel here and say, divide by 10, we have 1 over 5. And then you say 5 into 5, 1. 5 into 100, 20. Still get the same answer. Question 3. What percentage of 60 rand is 30 cents? Now the units are different. Remember, in mathematics, to do our calculations, the units must be the same. So we have to convert these rands to cents. How do we convert rands to cents? We multiply by 100. We say 60 times 100. 60 times 100. Multiplying by 100 is very easy. You just add the two zeros. So it becomes 6,000. Becomes 6,000. So it means 60 rands is 6,000 cents. Now our units are the same. So what percentage of 6,000 cents is 30 cents? So it's 30 out of 6,000. And then times 100 over 1. And then cancel the zeros. Cancel the zeros, like dividing by 100. Then again you will divide by 10. Cancel the 0. Cancel the 0. What are we left with? With 3 over 6. 3 over 6, which is 1 over 2, because 3 into 3, 1, 3 into 6, 2. So it's 1 over 2. And then what is half as a decimal? We must know this. This is 0.5. So meaning that 30 cents is 0.5% of 60 rand. That's the answer.